Hello my friends, this is going to be a pick a card or pick a deck reading on Valentine's Day. Like, what in the heck happened with my Valentine's Day? Because I know a lot of us, or a lot of you guys, have been watching the predictions and the pick a cards and the stuff about, you know, somebody's coming in and this is how your Valentine's is going to be, and a lot of it can really resonate, but then it doesn't pan out, or it doesn't pan out the way that you had thought or the way that you had expected. So this is going to be trying to figure out what happened. Like what happened, where did things change, where did things shift, what's going on with the energy. I'll have timestamps in the comment section as well as the description section. But this is going to be deck 1, deck 2, and deck 3. Okay? A lot of you asked me questions about my nail polishes. I will have that in the description, and I will also show you at the end of the video, so stick around for that if you want to know that. But go ahead, pause if you need to, pick your deck, and we're going to get started. Okay, my lovelies, so let's get started with deck 1 here. Those of you who chose deck 1, let's see what is going on. What happened? What went wrong? Or what went right for some of you? Like, what's going on? Let's see what the energy here is, what the messages are with this deck, with what happened for our viewers who chose deck 1 on their Valentine's Day. I feel that a lot of you who were drawn to this deck are people who are going through situations with someone who either you have been having come in and out of your life, or you've just had a feeling that they're going to be back, right? Some of you may already have been in contact with the person prior to Valentine's Day, and maybe you thought it was going to move forward in a certain way, and maybe they kind of bailed or flaked, or it's going to be different circumstances. We'll see what the cards have to say. But you have surrender, okay? So a lot of you who chose this deck, you're already in this place where you're going through transformation, and you're kind of just surrendering or giving over to the universe. Like, you know what? Like, you're coming more into a place of faith in your spiritual path where you're like, if it's meant to be, it'll be. If it's meant to happen, it's going to happen. If it's not this person, then the universe will bring me the right person. Like, you're trying to be open, but at the same time, I feel like you're getting a lot of signs where you think it's going to be this certain person, and they're not stepping up, or they're doing this stupid little cha-cha where they're like close and far and close and far, like they're almost like they're teasing you in a way, like you're feeling very confused or getting mixed signals. What's happening for a lot of you, you're in a pretty intense transformation right now, and you're coming into such a balanced energy that I think for a lot of you, this person is feeling very inferior to you, or very confused and not sure how to approach you. Like, you know, like this is somebody who's really high caliber, and I think for a lot of you too, I think those of you in this situation, you're dealing with someone whom you have a lot of empathy for, you have a lot of compassion for them, but you know they're not quite where you are on your spiritual path. You might be dealing with somebody who you know is more into the physical realm or more into egotistical pursuits, but you may be feeling a soul connection with this person, or you may be feeling in some way that, you know, God or universe put you all on one another's path, and you know there's just something that's meant to be done here, and you're still kind of holding that door open, but there may be some frustration. And I think this person is seeing the transformation that you're going through, and you're inspiring this person, but they're afraid to walk through that door. Okay, you have purity. Okay, so you may also be a person who is very different than what this person is used to. We look at Valentine's Day, people think of it like, you know, the night that you're going to get lucky for sure, or whatever it might be, and this person might be looking at you as like maybe they're wanting to start over, or they're not wanting you to think that, you know, they're whoring it up in some way, or maybe they're just feeling unworthy to be with you in that sense. Like, maybe they're feeling like, you know, you deserve something more special, And, you know, maybe for you, you're like, well, Valentine's Day is super special. But maybe for this person, I'm sorry to say, maybe some of you are dealing with a person who has been very, very sexually active and very, very out there. And maybe for them, Valentine's Day, like Halloween, is like the night to pick all the low-hanging fruit. Like, it's just, it's an easy night to go in and like pick somebody up. Or some of you maybe like wanted this to be very special, or you were ready for that. And so for some of you, maybe it did happen in that way and you had this special pure connection. For other ones of you, this person who maybe didn't follow through or flaked on you, it could be because they're seeing you as like this pure person, or a lot, you know, cleaner. I hate to use that word, clean. Maybe just a lot more pure than what they're used to. Some of you, I feel like you kind of put your foot down because you're going through this transformation and you liked this person and you let them know that you like them, but you also maybe drew a line because maybe some of you were like, okay, well, I don't want to move forward that quickly. And so some of you had that kind of boundary or that kind of issue that you're dealing with, or it kind of made you evaluate that part of your life where you're connecting romance with the sexual aspect of things. And next you have abundance. So there could be finances here that are an issue for some of you, those who you feel like your Valentine didn't go that great, or they didn't show up, or like maybe you feel like they kind of seemed weird afterwards. This person could have some worries or concerns around money or finances. This person may have felt like you deserve so much more than what they're able to give you in this moment. And so there may be some weirdness there in that way, or pulling away for those of you who are dealing with somebody who's pulling away. Some of you had a very great situation. Now, these cards can tell a different story. They can go several different ways. And that's why I try to explain the different circumstances, because for different ones of you, you were drawn to the deck for different reasons. And you know what your story is. You know which one resonates with you. So it could just be very well. And I think for some of you, you're in a really good place financially. You're in a really good place with your money. And I think for a lot of you, this kind of intimidated your Valentine or your potential Valentine. And, you know, they're not sure how to step up and to give you what you deserve. They're not sure how to step up and do better for you than what you can do for yourself. Next, we have divine timing. So whatever's going on with this person, whether or not they showed up, whether or not you all spent Valentine's together, or if they completely and totally flaked on you, or just haven't reached out yet, divine timing lets us know that this is not over, okay? This is still resurfacing in some way, or, you know, it's to be continued. There's more to this story. Keep in mind, this person is watching your transformation. For some of you, this person's maybe kind of spying on you through social media, or, you know, just kind of through mutual friends. They kind of have word of what's going on with you. I feel some of you are doing something with a business. You're starting a business or you're launching a business, and they're really, really like following whatever you have online about that. And they're just seeing the different things that you're doing and putting out there, and they're very impressed with you. But you're really inspiring this person, and, you know, they might feel like they've got to get themselves together before they can really step up to you or take the next step. For those of you who are already in communication with this person's feeling like, man, I really need to work on myself a little bit more before I can move forward with this person. Your final card here, the outcome here is centering. So what the angels and guides are asking you to do in the meantime, while this person is catching up to you, is stay centered, stay grounded, stay focused, because you've been doing a really great job. If you were drawn to this deck, you've been doing a really great job getting your life together, focusing on yourself, healing. And when things maybe don't go as we had hoped or how we expected them to go, you know, it's very easy to feel rejected. And it's very easy to fall into that energy of like, oh, well, you know, nobody's ever going to love me, or I must not be attractive enough, or oh, maybe they just found something better, or they had better things to do, and they're just treating me like a plan C, plan D, plan E, or whatever. This is saying don't get caught up in all of that. Don't get caught up in all of that. This person is wallowing in whatever dirt they feel they deserve to wallow in right now because they see you so high. Okay, so you keep doing what you're doing. Don't let this, you know, one night of the year distract you from your goals and your vision and where you're going, because eventually I feel this person will catch up to you, and eventually this person will do the work they need to do. And I think watching you from afar is inspiring them to do this. And I think when they do kind of reach out and kind of talk to you and disappear, it's like you're giving them hope, like you're acknowledging them, and that's giving them like, wow, you know, I don't want to say that you're like a celebrity talking to them, but it gives them a sense of like, wow, this person acknowledged me, or wow, this person, you know, made time to talk to me. And I feel like that's giving them some self-esteem here to be able to work on themselves. So don't fall into the trap of beating yourself up. Don't fall into the trap of feeling bad about yourself, and stay on your path and let the divine timing work itself out, my dears. Okay, we're going to move into deck number 2. For those of you who chose deck number 2, what happened with your Valentine's Day? What messages about your Valentine's Day? What happened? Where are things going? What are you doing? And who is coming in? What steps, what decisions will be made moving forward? I feel like it needs one more shuffle. Now this is interesting. All right, guys, those of you who chose this deck, I immediately had number 5 pop up in my mind. And when 5 pops up in my mind for a love reading, it's a doozy of a situation. You are dealing with near, far, hot, cold, up, down. A lot of the times it can really end up being a love-hate relationship. Like you all maybe really drive each other nuts. And so in that instance, it could be a relationship where you would have like a very intense sexual connection or physical connection, but there could also be a difficulty with communication or being on the same page. When 5 comes up, there's karmic things that are happening a lot of the times, but we'll see what the cards have to say, because it's going to be different for different ones of you. Because right away the first card is the Tower. Wow, I'm good, huh? I already felt the energy from those cards before I even flipped them over. I felt that energy. So you are dealing with a pretty significant karmic soulmate, my dears, because I saw the 5, and we have a major arcana card right here kicking it off. And anytime the major arcana cards come up in a love reading, it lets us know that there's a soul connection here, or a soul contract type situation. Some of you are dealing with someone that like your life is never going to be the same again after having met them, and vice versa. Some of you may have a child with this person. Some of you maybe had quite a little Valentine's Day, and you might be thinking, oh my goodness, like, am I going to end up being a parent after tonight? Some of you might be like, you might think a baby was made or something. You know, that could be very life-changing. Or just in general, like this person may maybe have really come in and changed you a lot. But the Tower, again, is being pushed out of your comfort zone. Not necessarily always feeling security, or not feeling like this is a relationship that you know how it's going to pan out. I've heard from other readers, this is very interesting to me, I've heard from other readers, they read the Tower card as a very explosive sexual connection. So that could be happening with some of you. With some of you, you're dealing with someone who didn't follow through. Or maybe you're the person who didn't follow through. You chose this deck and there's somebody you're drawn to, but you didn't follow through. Or vice versa. It could be because somebody is feeling that intense connection and they're nervous about it. They're nervous about it because something is like telling both of you that there's just something really here where if we open this door, like it's not going to be the same again. There's not going to be any going back from it. So it could be a lot of fear energy. It could be a lot of frustration. It could just be where, you know, you're in a love-hate connection with some of you. 5 can show up in different ways. But right there, right from the get-go, you've already got the Tower, and that is intense, okay? Next, you have the Moon. You're dealing with someone who is not being open about their feelings, or you are not being open about your feelings, depending on your situation or scenario. Those of you who chose this deck, something is being hidden and something is not being revealed, okay? So if you were with someone who you felt like you ended up spending Valentine's with somebody, and they ended up being you know, distant, or you just didn't feel like it went the way that you thought it would go, chances are either they didn't want to open up and reveal the feelings that they had or the feelings that were developing, or there's things going on in their life that they're not ready to admit to you. Or those of you who had somebody flake, or those of you who had somebody who you really thought was going to step up and ask you out and they ended up not doing it. It's because something is going on in their life right now that they don't have the courage to open up and tell you. And you might be frustrated by hearing that, because you might be like, well, this person should know that I'm understanding. This person should know that I have their back. This person should know that I've been through my own crap too, and I'm not going to judge. And all that might be true. And this person may even know that about you. But I feel like there's something that runs so deep emotionally here that even though they know you might understand and you might be accepting of it, I feel like to talk about it or to open up is gonna open up such a floodgate where they just might lose it. Like they just might be just, you know, just blabbering and crying like a baby, like just completely and totally just, you know, and they don't want you to see them lose it like that. I think for a lot of you, and I know this sounds weird, either you are seeing this person as like a connection to something unhealed with a parental figure, or they're seeing you in that way. So maybe this person might be seeing you, or you're seeing this person as like the nurturing or loving, compassionate mother you didn't have, or like the stable or like fair father maybe you feel like you didn't have, or whatever it might be. There's something very deep running here that's kind of like adding to the pull to be together, but also keeping you all apart. Next, you have 3 of Earth. So this is telling me that this person does want to move things forward with you. They really do want to, but this is in the beginning stages of trying to figure out how to make it happen. They might be a little bit confused. And I feel for some of you, this person, one of the things they weren't being honest about is they may have had a few other options, or they may have had a few other people that they were considering, or maybe you did, and maybe this person just ended up not doing anything with any of them. Like maybe they flaked on you, but they also flaked on everybody else. But there was just this thinking, and in the present moment they're thinking, okay, you know what, there's something with this person, I want to explore it. But with 3 of Earth, or 3 of Coins, or Discs, or Pentacles, or whatever you want to call this card, nothing is set in stone yet. Nothing is finalized. Like it's not a certain thing. Like if you were to ask this person, where do you see this relationship going? The truthful answer would be, I don't know. But with 3 of Pentacles, it's also giving us that this person has a hope that you're going to be able to create some kind of foundation or to build on things. For some of you, I feel this person wants a relationship with you, but they don't want to get married. Like they just really don't want to get married. And they may be thinking about being open to like, you know, living with someone or even having a family, but they don't want to get married. And so that might be something that they're afraid to bring up to you or to explain to you, because it's kind of a hard thing to say, hey, yeah, you know, I want to make a life with you, but I don't want to marry you. Like that can be taken a lot of different ways. So there's something here that this person needs to be open and confess, and then from there moving forward, just understanding each other and trying to build and create a foundation and, you know, creating a life together. Next, you have 10 of Fire. So this is 10 of Wands. This could be a lot of burdens. This could be a lot of stress. But I love the way that the artist in this deck depicted it, because instead of 10 wands or 10 sticks or staffs, she's burning up these 10 papers. And for me, these feel like contracts. These feel like the agreements that we make from our spirit, from our soul, through different lifetimes, from our childhood, right? Like somebody yells at us when we're a kid and we decide in that moment, I'm stupid and I can't do anything right, and there's a contract, right? Or somebody makes you feel unattractive about something, and then you say, okay, well, the, you know, like you know, men or women are never going to find me attractive because I'm tall or I'm short or I'm fat or I'm skinny or whatever, and then there's another contract, right? Or nobody's going to give me a job because of, you know, the way I look, or because of, you know, the way I talk or whatever, and there's another contract. So sometimes we make these agreements or these contracts that really limit us in our life. And see, she's burning them up. She's like, I'm done with that nonsense. I'm breaking these contracts because I'm not going to be bound by any of these beliefs or any of this energy. So I don't know why immediately I heard therapy, which 10 of Wands, 10 of Swords is not a card that I associate with therapy. But for some of you, you're dealing with someone who, before they can move forward with you, they maybe are going to therapy, or they're getting some help to figure some things out. And through that process, they're also going to be able to get some help in how to open up to you more and to tell you more about what's going on with them. Okay, so some of you are dealing with someone who's really, really been emotionally hurt. For some of you, you've been very emotionally hurt, and this person knows this about you, and they're trying to get themselves together before they, you know, move forward with you, because they don't want to be another reason for you to cry. They don't want to be another reason for you to be hurt. Your next card here is Queen of Earth. So, that's powerful. That's powerful. I think you are dealing with someone who needs to get themselves together, because they do want a sense of home and they do want a sense of family. When I see Queen of Earth or Queen of Pentacles, I think of the very strong, like, woman of the house, okay? Like, you're independent, you have your own income, you have your own money, you're contributing financially, you're creating a beautiful home, and you're taking ownership. You're taking ownership of the feel of the home, the mood in the home, you know, being the partner or the wife, you know, being the mother, and just really being the heart and the center of the home and the home life. So some of you are dealing with someone who's going to be that kind of woman. Some of you are dealing with someone who sees you as this kind of woman, and that's essentially where things are going to go. So some of you are creating a very long-lasting partnership with this person. Maybe even this is going to be somebody that you're starting a family with, or going into business together, or all of the above. But I don't know why it feels to me in some way this is not going to be a traditional type of relationship. And so that might be another reason why these contracts are being burnt up. You know, you might have friends or family that say, oh, well, you can't do it that way, you know, because there's all of these restrictions that we have on us. You're dealing with someone that has some things they need to figure out. You're dealing with somebody that has some things they need to heal, and who has certain phobias or worries. And so to have a relationship with you, things might not go in a traditional sense. And that might be another reason why you have the Tower here and the burning of the contracts, because this is somebody where you're really going to have to open your mind, and it's going to be a very different experience than anything you may have anticipated for yourself. Now, you have free will. You may not want this, but this is what's going on with this person if you chose this deck. All right, my lovelies, let's go to deck number 3 and see what is happening there. So, deck number 3. With this deck, I'm getting the number 10, okay? When the number 10 comes up in my readings, you're finishing something. You're finishing some cycle. So for some of you, you overcome a block so things can move forward in a healthy way. Or some of you, maybe you're getting ready to end something karmic. Or maybe you got some closure and you're getting ready to close a door one way or another. But we'll see what the cards have to say. Okay, my dears, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So we have King of Swords. So right away, right off the bat, some of you may be dealing with an air sign. You may be an air sign, so Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. Or you may have those somewhere in your rising, or in your moon, or in your Mercury or Venus, or whatever it may be. But this could also be the characteristics. This could be negotiating. This could be setting down rules. This could be planning and moving ahead. So some of you may be dealing with a situation where you've had to put together a game plan on how you're approaching a person, or this person's been trying to put together a game plan on how to approach you. The issue though here with the foundation, the fact that it's coming up as King of Swords tells me this may be a connection where the person, or you or this person, or maybe it's mutual, you connect intellectually. You connect on a mental level. Like maybe you both have the same level of education, or maybe you guys are into the same types of philosophies, or like think about the same kind of stuff. Maybe you have a lot to talk about. But King of Swords typically is not a very passionate person. And I'm not saying that air signs are not passionate people, but when King of Swords comes up in a love reading, it tells me right off the bat, this is someone who's not really like connected emotionally with you, or with anybody really. Like they can be a little bit of a cold fish. So maybe it could come off for some of you as an issue of chemistry, or for some of you the chemistry is there, the attraction is there, the sexual connection is there, but there might not be a whole lot of like emotional bonding. Like this person might not give you that warm fuzzy feeling. But yeah, that's coming up right off the bat. 10 of Swords. Okay, so some of you are feeling like you want to close the door on this person. Okay, some of you are feeling, I feel that for some of you, you feel like this person is pulling you into old habits that you're trying to break away from. So like maybe you're wanting something more meaningful. Maybe you're wanting to have an emotional connection and somebody who's going to have your back and be there for you and like have things in common with you emotionally. But maybe this person is, you know, just pulling you in some ways, getting inside your head, or turning you on, or seducing you, or like playing with your self-esteem in some way, or playing these mind games that are pulling you in, but you're not getting what you wanted emotionally. And so maybe some of you are feeling like you want to put an end with this. So some of you, whatever happened, maybe it opened your eyes about this person. Maybe you spent time with them on Valentine's Day and you were like, I'm just not feeling it. Maybe they flaked on you, or they didn't make plans, or they, you know, they didn't come through. And then you're like, okay, you know what? I'm just, after this, I'm done, right? But if you're not feeling loved by this person, it's just because they might not be super emotional. They may not be super in their feelings, okay? Not just with you, but with anybody. Next, we have the Hermit. So there's an awakening that's happening now. There's like an awakening. There's a coming into the senses. Oops, sorry, I touched the screen. And there's like a going within to figure out what somebody wants. I feel this is more you. I feel like after this experience, you're like reevaluating. Some of you are like, dude, I don't even know if I want a relationship. And for some of you, it's crazy to hear yourself say that, because maybe for a long time you were obsessing about it. Maybe some of you have like paid for all kinds of readings. Maybe some of you were like even like shelling out money, asking psychics to do spells for you and all kinds of stuff. Maybe you were doing spells for yourself and you were just really focused on bringing in this relationship. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, Like, I don't even know if I want this anymore, because there's a certain level of spiritual awakening that's happening here with you, and your eyes are being opened. And I don't know why I'm just bringing it up to say what I did for Valentine's Day. I went and I saw the Rebel Wilson movie, Isn't It Romantic, which is like an anti-romantic comedy. And it was hilarious. It was so funny. But the message was really good. So maybe if you can, make time to see that movie. See that movie. Because, you know, I'm not going to like give you spoilers. But a lot of what happens and a lot of what's discussed, I think you're going to come to those realizations in your hermit mode. Okay, those of you who are coming into hermit mode, it's going to end up being something very positive for you. That after you come out of that, after you're like, okay, well, I don't know if I want love, and you're letting it go, you're actually going to end up calling in the biggest love of your life. For some of you, you already know this person, okay? But you're not seeing them yet. Your eyes haven't opened up to this person yet. Your next card here is Four of Swords. So you're needing a break. You're like, I need a timeout here. My heart, my soul, my mind needs a timeout. So you're taking a break away from this person or from the situation of love itself. Some of you, I'm hearing you hurt somebody, or they hurt you very, very deeply. And you're having to kind of reevaluate or take a step back and think about how to keep that from happening again. Like, how can you keep from somebody hurting you that deeply? Or how could you keep from doing that to somebody in the future? There's a lot of eye-opening energy coming in here with this deck. Your outcome here is Nine of Pentacles. So a lot of you after tonight, you're like, I need to really start putting something out there and working on myself. The beautiful thing about Nine of Pentacles is it is a card about material wealth and like being self-employed and being very successful and being self-employed. But the whole thing, the whole symbolism here is that like this bird is something that she was able to tame, and that's supposed to represent like that wild side of the heart, that manic side of the brain, you know, that gets in our way, that distracts us, that sometimes sabotages us, but yet she was able to master that. Okay, so maybe in the past you have been very distracted, or you have had situations where you haven't been able to function in your career life, or you haven't been able to see certain goals through to success because of what was happening in your personal life, and you're overcoming that. For some of you, it's not even your personal life. It's your own struggle within. It's just that part of your brain that starts attacking you and like, you know, tearing you up and putting you down, or filling you with fear or worry or anxiety. And a lot of you are mastering that. You're quieting that down. You're shutting it up. You're calming it down. And you're able to begin work on building your future. And through there, love is coming in. Okay? So again, it's going to be different for different ones of you. I tried to go over the different scenarios. You may need a private reading. I will have the private reading info in the description. I am going to be announcing in the weekly forecasts. Those of you who subscribe and hit notification and you see the weekly forecasts that come in, for the following week, I am going to have a sale on my private readings. I'm going to have a pretty big discount. Yeah, you'll have to wait a day or two to hear about the sale. I am going to have the mid-month love readings posted in the next day or two as well for the remainder of February. Those of you who want to know about the nail polish and the nails, this pink color here, and I don't get paid by O.P.I or any nail polish places. This is called, I don't even know if you can see it. This is getting Nadi on my honeymoon. This one is by ESSIE. And this one is, I remember having a really hard time saying it. Oh, it's upside down. To have and to gold. You see that? It's like so weird. To have and to gold. I did not necessarily pick out wedding nail polishes. They had these crazy names. And this one is Time to Shine. Okay? And this one is by Who is the spy? Morgan Taylor. Okay, so those are the nail polishes. Stay tuned for the psychic sale announcement. Stay tuned for the mid-month love readings, the weekly forecasts, all that good stuff coming your way. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care.